Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb, and we are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and this is the Steuben County Office for the Aging section of our program, where we do interviews. And back in the studio, Drinald. Welcome.
Thank you, Frank.
Full disclaimer. Now you're running, as you say, in Erwin. Full disclaimer. I know I've done this every single time, but I do live in Erwin. I'm on the Erwin Town Board, so we try to keep these all three as neutral as possible. Ask very similar questions, but this one's a little bit different. But I wanted to congratulate you, more specifically your daughter. I saw her name. We posted the photo on the show Monday, winning the state championship.
Yes, thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
Great. I was at the state championship in Syracuse. And when I'm not running and not working, yes, I'm a rugby dad. So,
well, that's nice. And she's going D1, right?
She is going to D1 Queen's University in North Carolina. Wow. So we're very, very excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very proud of her. It was great.
And the Corning Rugby Club defeated Orchard Park 29-10. And isn't Orchard Park their rival?
That is their rival.
Okay.
They last year. They took the championships. The year before that, we took it from them. So,
back and forth.
Back and forth. But, yeah, it was a great game.
So you guys have the rubber match. Well, let's move on here. Tell us a little bit. I know you were on the program a month ago or so. Tell us a little bit about your background for people that haven't had the opportunity to meet you.
Yes. Frank, I came to this country 2 weeks after 9/11 with no high school education, $300 in my pocket, and a big dream. My first job was grape picking in the vineyards of Hammondsport. Now, to backtrack a little bit, I was born in Albania during Reagan's first administration, and
you don't like to admit which administration it was.
It was the first one.
Okay.
During first term. So I was born in Albania. Albania at that time was a communist country. Toward the end, late 80s, I would say.
Okay.
I recall one election there, the only election, really, that I remember that supposedly people voted, but there was only one choice. And I think that left an impression on me, which I didn't realize until later on in my years. But fast forward a few years, I met my wife there, my wife Jean. She came to Albania to help out with the Kosovo crisis at the time. Was late 99. We met in 2000. One thing led to another. She was my English teacher. We got married in 2001, and I immigrated to the United States roughly 2 weeks after 9/11 with a marriage visa.
Wow. And you mentioned you started with no high school education. You started, and now to kind of bring it full circle, bookends, what do you do currently?
So I earned my GED. I started at Corning Community College. I finished my bachelor's at Buffalo, and then my law school in Chicago. So I'm an attorney by profession, by trade.
Why? And you're obviously busy. You're a rugby dad. you are a lawyer. Why did you decide to run for Steuben County Legislator?
I decided to run because I didn't. In my view, I thought the people of Erwin were not properly represented, and again, limited background in a country where the elections were meaningless. I believe that people should have the freedom of choice to elect their leaders, and that is one of the great things that I love about this country, that we do have that freedom of choice. And so that was one of the reasons. I think being represented properly is a strong belief of mine.
Now, what are you looking at as, maybe we could call it your platform or goals that you're looking at if you are elected to the legislature?
My platform, my goals are basically to be accessible to the people. That is how I ran my campaign.
Okay.
And to take issues that people bring to me to the county legislature to try to solve their problems. I have certain, my beliefs are that I believe in a small limited government that truly represents the people. I believe in low taxes, but certainly being open to and taking any issues that are brought to me to the county legislature is certainly my goal.
What issues do you see that you think you'll be forced to face in a way going on in Steuben County? If you're in the legislature, what are some of the issues you think you'll face?
Well, one of the things that I see, it's flooding.
Oh yeah.
That is a big issue, although not an issue in Erwin.
Right.
It is certainly a big issue in Steuben County, Addison, Campbell, our neighbors, and so to me, finding a way to bring aid to those families would be something.
Yes, I guess I can jump ahead. That was my question. It was on flooding. Everybody does this. But yes, flooding has become a major issue, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. And obviously, Steuben County is large. You would be representing the Erwin section, but at the same time, it's something we have to deal with because it's costing taxpayers. It's destroying people's businesses and homes. Something needs to be done.
Right. I agree, and yeah, that if there is a way to bring aid to those families countywide, that would be something I would work on.
The other two major issues when people think Steuben County, they think of recently the flooding, and of course they think of the sheriff and the county going. Well, it's biased to say after, but taking away the identification of the sheriff. What is your thoughts on that?
Frank, my thoughts on that are simple. What it was done is certainly it should not have been done. You have an elected official that was duly elected by the whole countywide. Not only that, was also reelected countywide, and the legislature trying to strip him of that liability certainly should not have happened. I'm a strong supporter of the sheriff. That vote shouldn't have happened. What that has done is essentially cost the county somewhere around $250,000 for zero gain. And it only has drawn bad publicity to Steuben County for the absolutely wrong reasons. So yeah, it shouldn't have happened. I'm very much a strong supporter of our sheriff and law enforcement in general, but as a general principle, you cannot try to undermine a duly elected official. Another branch should not be able to undermine another branch of the government.
Now, last time we spoke, I think petition season had just finished. You went through that process, the fun of the petitions. What has it looked like? What does your campaign look like to today? And obviously Tuesday is the vote, but what does your campaign look like?
So yeah, my campaign again was focused on three main levels, I guess. But the major focus being accessibility to the voters. So to that end, it was a combination of knocking on doors, sending out flyers, and finally holding two Meet the Candidate events.
Okay.
Those Meet the Candidates were done, one in May 24th, and one on June 8th. Both of them were at the Kinsella Park on Canada Road here in Erwin. So both of them were very successful. I enjoyed talking to people that showed up, so it was great. But again, it went with my belief that I am there to be accessible, and if you have a question for me, bring it up, and I'll take it. I'll take it up.
And that's going to lead into another question in a second, but where's the best place for people to contact you? You have a Facebook page, correct?
Yes, I have a Facebook page. There's my email as well, so drinaldbilcari@gmail.com.
Okay.
So if you have a question, reach out.
And you didn't mention this, but I have to ask, how did Colonial Days go?
The Colonial Day, it went great.
Oh, good.
I had so much fun. I guess at some point it was literal running.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I would be out, and I enjoyed it. I was shaking people's hand and like, hey, and then I would notice that the float would be a little bit ahead, so I would just be running. Yeah. And so some people would make comment, hey, you got to run for real. So It was fun. In fact, during the colonial, before we set up, I did meet an individual who was also in the Colonial Day parade. But then he goes, "Are you running for the county legislature?" I says, "Yes, I am." He says, "Well, if you win, I'd like to talk to you." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If I win, I'll sit down with you and listen to your issues." And then so I took his card.
That's what it's all about.
It is all about.
Did you give away a lot of candy?
I did give. We gave away 3 bags of candy, okay. And by the time we got close to the end, I think we ran out of candy, which I didn't expect. So that means there was a great turnout, and
well, great.
It was actually a great time. It was supposed to be rainy. It really wasn't. No. It turned out to be a great day.
When you're out campaigning, you had the candidate meet and greets and everything that you've been doing. What do you find the voters are saying to you the most? What are the biggest issues that Steuben County is facing?
The voters, certainly the issue of the sheriff is one. People have paid attention to the issue of the sheriff, and you get a lot of feedback on that. So I gave them where I stand on it. They other issues. Sometimes they try to take things at what's going on at the federal level, which I always try to bring it down. And since we're focusing on, I'm focusing at the local level at this point.
Sure.
But they want their government to represent them. That is the bottom line. They want to have somebody that hears their voice and then just takes their concerns at the county level. That's what I hear from them.
So we're coming up on a primary day. It's on Tuesday, so tomorrow. What can people do to help? It's kind of late to go out because you're going to be still knocking on doors, I'm sure, but it's a little late to just get involved in your campaign, but maybe help or find out more for the future.
Certainly people can help by spreading, I guess, the news around. You can never. Turnout is going to be big. I mean, this is an important election.
Well, it's going to be big, but not huge. I mean, it's going to come down. It's going to be important. We'll put it that way.
That's the better word. That is exactly what I meant to be by the word big. Yes, the turnout is going to be the most important factor. So certainly people can help to spread the news, to turn out and exercise this great privilege that we have to vote.
And I actually was talking to Senator Joe Sempolinski on Friday's show, and we got talking because he's the chair of the Steuben County Republican Committee, and we got talking on the air about the numbers and how people will say, "Well, my vote doesn't count." Baloney, but it extra counts tomorrow on Tuesday because percentage-wise, your vote is very, very important on primary day.
Yes, the vote absolutely counts. Voting is a fundamental right. It's a very important right, and that is how we make our choices known. That's how we elect our leaders, and it is one of those privileges to live in this country that you can still have your vote to have that meaningful, that much of a meaningful of an impact. So yes, absolutely the vote counts. Please go out and vote.
All right, final question of the primary season. What do you say to voters before they vote tomorrow?
Please get out and vote. This is an important election. It's going to depend on your turnout. Exercise your fundamental right and vote.
Drinald, thanks for being on the program these 2 times. I really appreciate it. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. Stay with us. I want to thank Drinald Bilcari for being on the program. He had messaged me. We recorded each of the candidates for Erwin. We recorded them the day before they would be broadcast. So Drinald actually recorded on Friday. And he got home and he realized he missed a very important point in his background story. And he wanted me to make this clear to you, the viewer. He said, 20 years ago, in the summer of 2005, I became a U.S. citizen, and it was one of the proudest days of my life. So thank you to Drinald for clarifying that. He just wanted to make sure that you were made aware of that. So if you have missed any of those interviews with the candidates for Steuben County Legislator in District 12, which is Erwin, or if you know someone that's in Erwin and you want them to be the most informed as they go into the voting booth tomorrow, You can go to our YouTube page or go to wydctv.com to find those interviews. Drinald's will be up probably by noon today at the latest, because we want to make sure that you, as has been the goal for a long time on this program, you go in from the day one, actually, I say a long time, from day one, that you go into the booth the most well-informed.